Many of you have already visited the Shura Emergency Transit Mechanism. We're partnering with the UNHCR and the African Union to bring migrants who are stranded in Libya to safety in Kigali. Over 1,000 migrants have passed through this center. Many have been resettled to other countries. This is just an illustration of Rwanda's commitment to protecting refugees and vulnerable people around the world, a principle which always governs our international policy. Tomorrow, when the first flight lands here in Kigali, the new arrivals will be welcomed and will be looked after and supported to make new lives here. We will provide support with their asylum applications, including legal support and translation services. We will provide decent accommodation and look after all their essential needs. So we also want to make it clear that if people apply for asylum in Rwanda and their claim is rejected through the process that we'll have here, they will still have a pathway to legal residency in Rwanda. And we welcome people from everywhere. So the new arrivals will be free to come and go as they please. And if they choose to leave Rwanda, which is one of the options, we will support them to travel to their country of origin or a safe third country where they have a legal right to stay. We do hope that they'll choose to stay with us and follow in the footsteps of so many who have made Rwanda their home and have flourished here. So, as I said, this partnership builds on our record of caring for refugees and welcoming migrants. And we will be able to provide not just a safe haven these people are looking for, but the opportunity to build new lives here and develop alongside Rwandans. We're doing this for the right reasons. As I just outlined in my statement earlier, we're doing this for the right reasons. We have the experience. We want Rwanda to be a welcoming place for people in precarious conditions, and we're determined to make this work. We understand that there might be opposition to this, but we are asking that this program be given a chance because it's a solution. There are not many solutions. People are suffering. The asylum system is broken. It's being taken advantage of by criminal gangs that are exploiting people, making false promises. People are risking their lives in these dangerous crossings. So something has to give, and we are happy to be working on this solution with our UK partners. We're expecting migrants from all over the world. People coming from countries with conflict. Some may have been persecuted from where they're coming from. They're coming from maybe countries that don't have opportunities, and we think that a lot of them have a misconception about what Rwanda is like and what Africa is like. And to be quite honest, some of this is perpetuated by media, that does not reflect the reality of our countries. So they should, we will give them an opportunity to see what it's like to live in this country. We do not consider living in Rwanda a punishment. We don't think anyone should. I mean, you're here. I don't know what your impression is and what impression you had before you came here. But we're doing our best to provide a conducive environment for Rwandans to develop and for anyone else who comes to live here with us. We are Christian, Muslim, and many other religions here. We don't think it's immoral to offer a home to people, something that we have done here for more than 30 years. And we're doing this for the right reasons. So people may have their own opinions about what this program is like, depending on where they're coming from. But from where we're coming from, we're doing this for the right reasons. We want Rwanda to be a welcoming place, and we'll do our best to make sure that the migrants are taken care of and that they're able to build a life here. So this is also an advantage for us, to be part of a partnership like this. We're under the obligation in this partnership, to provide a decent accommodation. It's not luxurious, but it'll be dignified and decent, which is what we try to do with our limited means for all Rwandans. And in addition, as my colleague said, this is a migration and economic development partnership as well. So there will be investments in in the host community to raise the standards of living for everybody in terms of infrastructure and training. So all Rwandans benefit from this as well.
For these migrants and asylum seekers, resettlement or life in another country is part of the durable solutions. We have local integration, we have repatriation to country of origin, and we have also possibility for resettlement. So for this, maybe the government, the two governments will not be directly involved, but whoever among those migrants who will be able to, or who will wish to go for another country, to live in another country, who will receive who will be accepted in that country, we will facilitate the process of him or her being transferred to that country.
So we don't have a final number, we don't have a specific number. We are in discussions with our partners in the UK. We're ready to receive thousands over the life of this partnership, but we don't have an exact number for now. The next flight, not sure. We're waiting to hear from our UK partners. And just as an example, when we offered to host the migrants who were stuck in Libya, who we evacuated here, our president offered up to 30,000 at the time when he was the president of the African Union. We've had about 1,000 so far, so we have capacity for a lot of migrants.
The people who live in this country will be given several legal avenues for legal residence. The primary one will be to be granted refugee status. If not refugee status, they will be granted residence on other grounds, such as migrant worker status and other. With the view of acquiring citizenship, there are legal paths to citizenship for migrant workers and for refugees, provided they are eligible under the criteria for citizenship. So there is a pathway, a clear pathway that will be communicated to them to become Rwandans. This is one of the primary objectives of the settlement program, is that they will be treated like Rwandans. The spirit of Article 16 is to reflect this shared understanding that we share responsibilities in resettling vulnerable refugees from both countries. It is a reflection also of the fact that there are legal pathways to immigrate in the UK. However, you need to understand that those vulnerabilities that will require settlement into the UK are very few and far between. We do not have an estimate on how many will be settled to the UK. It's going to be for those very outlier cases, because again, as my colleagues put it, this is an economic development partnership as well. So we will be better equipped to accommodate those vulnerabilities. In terms of the Memorandum of Understanding with the UK, we do reserve the right to request certain information in accordance with both of our privacy laws. If we also have the right to reject any submitted request for transfer of a relocated individual if we feel they would be a threat to national security. However, we do recognize that people with criminal records can also be refugees. It just is a matter of what the level or the gravity of the crimes they're accused of.
At the accommodation facility, we have prepared for entertainment facilities and tools. We have playgrounds, we have indoors games, but we identify more once the migrants and the refugees are there. We want also them to participate and give us recommendations so that we can even offer what fits in their wishes. For the migrant and refugees getting jobs, I think that our labor laws allow refugees, asylum seekers, but especially refugees, to be eligible on different jobs, including the government. We have some refugees that are unemployed by the government, so this will not be different for this group of refugees and migrants.
This partnership reflects the issue that we are trying to contribute to addressing, which is irregular migration, which places these people in the hands of people traffickers. So these will be people who have crossed into the UK illegally. We're trying to curb this illegal migration that is costing lives. And your second question was the lifetime of this partnership. It is a renewable memorandum of understanding that will last 5 years. However, we do intend to, at a later stage, turn it into a binding treaty. Yes, there will not be any unaccompanied minors under this partnership, but we do stand ready at a later stage to receive families. This is a migration and economic development partnership. We recognize the value that migrants bring to a society. They have much to contribute. In terms of they can contribute to our culture, they can contribute to creation of livelihoods. There is also an economic development component that will raise the standard of living for all Rwandans and all who reside in Rwanda.
The accommodation facility is not a detention facility, so they will be free to come and go as their case is looked at. But there is security at the Hope Hostel, which many of you visited, because for their own safety as well. It's a facility that's in a residential neighborhood. It's right on the main road, so we need to ensure that the migrants are safe. There will be some in-house rules, I think. As there are in many accommodation centres in many parts of the world. I've seen that in London as well. So there will be a few guidelines on how the space will be used. Just basic housekeeping rules for a shared facility that's home to many people. Nothing special.
This is a mechanism to resettle people in Rwandan society. The primary objective is to fully integrate them in Rwandan society. It is not to send them off to other countries. However, we recognize that people have freedom of movement, and should they wish to move to a third country where they would have legal residence, we will facilitate that movement. However, the Rwandan government will not be involved in the application to that third country, but we will facilitate access to that third country once legal residence is established. This is just a recognition of their freedom of movement in and out of the country. Basically, one fair example would be, for instance, if a person comes from a region with, and for instance, in East Africa, you can reside in several countries by being a national of an East African country. So if the person feels that their country of origin may not be safe, but they do have already existing legal residence, they would be facilitated, provided that country is willing to accommodate them.
If I can add to that, this is a new partnership, so we'll see how it works, and for that kind of question, it will be on a case-by-case basis. So the kind of facilitation we would have, for instance, is if they want to reunite with family in another third country and they're able to go there, then we'll give them travel documents to travel to that country. It will really be on a case-by-case basis.
Have they reached out to the UNHCR, for example, given their experience?
We'll see. We'll see how it develops. We do have a working partnership with the UNHCR, as you said, and in resettling people from refugee camps and from the Gashora emergency transit mechanism. So all these options are open.
But at the moment, for this particular deal, is there any arrangement?
No, we haven't gotten there yet. We're expecting the first ones tomorrow. Let's see how it goes. But we're very open to adapting this program to suit the needs of those who are coming to on the possible options. For now, yes, it's a government to government. Thank you very much, everybody.